Well, with smartphones and 3G network, more young people, especially in urban areas, have easy access to social media. Many young people are on social networking sites like Facebook, Twitter, and even YouTube, and many other sites. So, do you think there's a need to educate the youth on pros and cons of social media? Welcome to Generation Me. I'm Sring Wangchuk, and today I've come to Yangchenfu Higher Secondary School here in the capital city, Thimphu, to discuss social media. And I've with me four young people. Welcome to the program. All right. So, can you please introduce yourself first?
I'm Tenzin Yangchen, 12 Arts A from Yangchipu High Secondary School.
I am Chatsawangdi, 11 Arts B from Yangchen Higher Secondary School.
I'm Ugin Kyazong, studying in 11 Science A in Yangchenfu Higher Secondary School.
I'm Dichin Namgyal of class 11 Science B, a student of Yangchen Higher Secondary School.
Thanks very much for introduction. And all right. Let me first begin with this question, and I'm going to ask this question to Tenzin Yangchen. Tenzin, tell me, how often do you use social media?
I use it quite often. It's because I have access to information there and I can conversate with my friends. I can talk to them about stuffs, and being a girl, I can gossip with them. And when you come to school, the access to social media is quite low compared to when you're on your holidays and vacation, because you have your school life and you have to do your homework, your revisions, and you have your chores as well. So it's quite less compared to the times when you get to sit home and just watch TV and turn on your internet on the phone and use your phone and go to Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Google, and stuff like that. So yes, and access is in a day I probably get to sit do stuffs using the internet for about an hour. And during holidays, I leave the internet on, and if my friends need to say something, they'll text me and I'll reply. So, yes.
All right. So, tell me, for what purpose do you usually use social media?
Social media, I use it to just check the feeds, and I could just keep track of my friends. Like if it's during holidays, I can see where they're going, what they're doing. It's always fun to have your nose in other people's business, and you can gossip with your friends, as I said before. And during school days, like the academic year, what we can do is, like if I cite an example, my class, we have this group chat, and what we do is, if our teacher hands down some handouts and notes, and like there are a few students who got it down, and they'll take pictures, they'll put it on the group chat, and we can just see that, and we can note it down in our books. And it's really helpful. Social media is both helpful and not helpful.
All right. That was Tenzin Yangchen, and let me now talk to Seto Wangdi. All right. Tell me, what about you? How often do you use social media?
I use it pretty often.
Okay. Anyway, how about communication and I mean, how often do you use Facebook or other social networking sites to communicate with your friends or to express your views?
To chat, I use it very often, but express views and all, I don't really use Facebook for all that.
All right. Tell me, which one is your favorite social networking sites?
Right now, it would be Instagram
Okay.
and Tumblr.
What about Facebook?
Facebook is not really, I don't really use it a lot.
Let me now talk to the guys. Okay. All right. Well, Ugin Kezang, how often do you use Facebook?
Well, nowadays my phone usage is quite limited, so I don't get to use it quite often on weekdays, but on weekends, right from when I wake up, for about 2 to 3 hours, I guess, and if I have need to contact my friends.
Anyway, tell me, why do you use social media? Not just Facebook.
Well, basically, it's kind of like pastime for me. It provides a stage for entertainment. So, not only Facebook, but with access to YouTube, I can also gain new information, and it makes my weekends more interesting.
What about Dechen Namgyal? How often do you use Facebook and other social networking sites?
As the name itself indicates, social network. Social means being able to communicate with our friends, with the people around ourselves, so that we can know about the happenings of their life and to be able to get new knowledge and new information about the world. So therefore, being a student, I use it often because I have to track down some sort of information regarding my studies and also.
Let's now talk about some of the pros and cons of social media. Well, if you could, tell me what are some of the advantages and also the disadvantages of social media.
In general, there are so many means of social media like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and all. So, as a student, what I find is social media is helpful in so many ways, and in the same way, it is harmful. Like social media, it helps us to get information about the economic and political situations of the world around, about the countries in the world, and about the happenings in our own country itself, and about the information. We can track down so many information. We can chat with our friends so that we can build allies from outside countries, not focusing only inside. So if I talk something about the negative effects of social media, it has contributed to so much of problems and issues in our country, because most of the students and young people, they spend most of their time using the social media. Therefore, they lack the knowledge to divide time between their studies and using social media. And social media also creates distance among parents and children. This is the most prominent issue that I find in our country.
All right, tell me, what kind of information do you look for on social media?
When we are given some sort of project about the world history and about science and technology, it's very evident that we go to some sort of specific websites from where we can gain some sort of information that would be useful for us in our projects and also.
What do you use? I mean, do you use Google or do you use YouTube for that purpose?
Google and YouTube both. During our science projects and all, we have to look at some sort of videos so that we can get the basic knowledge about how the project is to be worked on. So I usually visit YouTube and search on Google.
All right, thank you. Well, that was Dechin Namgil, and let me now talk to Tenzin Yangchin. All right, what about you? What do you think are some of the pros and cons of using social media, especially by the young people like you?
Okay, to begin with the positives, the advantages of using social media, as Dichan Namgil already mentioned, we can access information when we have project works and stuffs to be done in school. And like sometimes you're just sitting and you're watching television and you see something which like really stands out, like you're watching this program and it's about something and you really want to know more than just what the TV gives you. So then you go on social network and then you try to get down information. And the positives, like communication again, and as I mentioned earlier, the sharing of informations among our own young students like us. And everything has its good and its bad sides. So the bad things could be that you find almost everything and anything on the internet. So it's really important that you know what kind of information you try to access on the internet, because if you know how to use it in a proper way, you always get the good things from there. But if you like really couldn't differentiate the good and the bad, you could always go on the path which isn't so good, which isn't so fruitful. So yeah, there's always chances of like young people like us to be diverted. Like it's really easy for people to divert us. So yeah, and if you couldn't really differentiate between the good and the bad, there's always like ways of getting yourself in the wrong way.
All right, so you told me that you're on Facebook, right?
Yes.
All right, so is it your favorite, social networking site?
I wouldn't really say favorites. Like if I have something important to do, I wouldn't really choose Facebook or social network over the stuff I had to do. Like sometimes when you're just bored at home or you're going somewhere and you need something to occupy yourself, then I go to Facebook or Instagram. And then sometimes you just go to Google and type some type of quotes you want. Like if you want to inspire yourself, you just go to images and be like inspiration quotes, and then you read, you go through it, and then that's how I prefer my separation.
Anyway, let's talk more about Facebook. Do you think, is it really appropriate for young people like you to, be on Facebook?
Since Facebook is for interaction and accessing information, but most of the time what happens is the information you get on internet or Facebook, to be specific, isn't that important that you need. It's not like it's mostly about gossips about celebrities and the music charts and stuff like that. So it's not really important that you know about all those, but if you really want yourself to be occupied and if you're interested, then you can choose Facebook to get all those, to be part of the gossips of celebrities and stuff like that.
There are certain pages or groups on Facebook. You can also create a group or page on a Facebook. So, for example, let's say, do you think is it appropriate for teachers and students to create a group or a page where they can, talk about or discuss matters related to school or to the subjects?
I think it is quite important because, like, among the four of us, all of us, we have a Facebook account each, like minimum, and we get to access on all sorts of information. And Yanchipu has this Facebook page, Yanchipu Fraternity, and what happens there is like the members are the principals, teachers, students, and even the graduates and the alumni. So what happens, like when there are events in the school, like some teachers, they take pictures, and then there are students who take pictures, and it's all thing uploaded on the page, and we can all see what happened, and it's always a nice thing to see pictures and have memories. So what that page could do is, like, even like the four of us, when we're done with Yanchipu and when we graduate from here, we can always be a member of that page, and whatever happens in the school, we can not directly but indirectly be part of it. Like, you can see the pictures, you can see the posts, you can comment, and there's always this sense of homeliness when you have everyone you love close to you.
Do you find any disadvantages when it comes to creating pages and groups among the young people?
Yes, there could be disadvantages because everybody has their views and opinion, and not everybody's opinion is the same again, and there could be always clashes between the ideas, and there could be disputes between them, like just little and minor problems among the people part of one group. So that's how it could be negative and not so good as well.
All right, thank you. That was Tenzin Yangchen, and all right, let me now talk to Tsetso Wandi. All right, what about you? What do you think are some of the negative aspects of social media?
Negative aspects of social media could be like there is a lot of information there, and again it's the same thing. You have to be like really careful about what you need to find, and then basically it's all about how a person uses the social media for their good or for their bad. It's
Anyway, what do you think are some of the advantages of social media?
advantages is there's like effective communication, and you get a lot of information from the internet, and there's like news. You could get news, like it could be like very important news, and you could get it.
You know what? We have there are a lot of social networking sites: Facebook, Twitter, Google Plus, and even WeChat. So, which one do you use the most?
I use Google the most.
What do you look for in Google?
I basically look for stuff that I need. So basically, it could be for again schoolwork, it could be for home, and it could be just reading and yes.
All right. Anyway, do you think these social networking sites, do you think there's a negative influence on Bhutanese youth?
I do think there is a lot of negative impact, but then again, it's how Bhutanese people like take it, like how they like analyze and know the information that they're getting, whether it's correct or it's not. And then so basically, if it's bad, then they should know that it's bad because they thought.
All right. Thank you, Tsetso Wandi. And okay, all right. Ugin Kezang, you tell me, what are some of the negative aspects of social media?
Well, negative aspects I see mainly three. The first one would be the time factor. Social networking sites are a very addictive. Once you get on them, you find it hard to get off them again. So it wastes a lot of your time. Secondly, it's the type of information that you get and the type of people that you meet. So it's not exactly always the information that you want. So and nowadays, even in Bhutan, we have people sharing illicit material over social networking sites. And of course, there's also you can be influenced by bad people. And thirdly, the information that you always get is not correct. The information is not verified. So if you want to search for an information on a certain topic, the information that you always get wouldn't always be right.
All right. Let me ask you this. When compared to social media and traditional media like newspapers, radio, what do you think about it? Which one is more convenient for you, social media or the traditional media like newspaper, radios?
I think social media is actually a better platform for sharing information because, for example, if you take radios or the newspapers, you only have specific information there, whereas in social media you could just ask someone for help and then they would be able to help you. You're not exactly able to contact someone through traditional medias.
So tell me, how do you use social media to express your views?
I'm not actually much of a person to express my views, sir.
Anyway, do you think it could be a better platform to, to express views, especially on youth issues?
Definitely, sir. Well, nowadays almost everyone has a Facebook account. So, there's billions of users, I would say, on Facebook, and then what you post there is out there on the global community. So then, if you wanted to post your views, it would be there for everyone to see. And YouTube is another example. Now we see a lot of young YouTubers coming out showing their talents on YouTube, and it's a really good platform to show your own talents.
So how do you use YouTube?
YouTube, it would mainly just be pastime for me, sir. Just to watch comedy, sir.
Alright, besides comedy, what else do you watch on YouTube?
Well, basically anything that catches my interest, be it like major sports event or something related to science, sir.
So let's talk about the negative impacts of YouTube.
Well, negative impacts of YouTube, sir. First of all, you show what type of person you are to everyone, and each person is gonna have their own opinion. So if you were to look at a YouTube video now and look down on the comments, you'd see that some people have actually very negative views about you, and it can hurt a person, sir.
Alright, thank you, Ugen. Let me now talk to Deshan Namgil. What do you think are some of the disadvantages of social media?
As my friends already mentioned in the beginning, there are many negative impacts of social media on the life of young people, because social media drags us from what we are, because social media shows to us a completely different world which cannot happen in reality. So we get dragged off from our track, and we just wonder whether we could be that person that's being portrayed on the different social medias, because we want to be that person. We want to lose weight so that we can be fit. We want to build up muscles so that we can look like the actor that's being portrayed on the social media. So that leads to self-hatred, and this is one of the most prominent issue in our country, because this leads to suicide, self-harm, self-hatred, and also.
Anyway, as a youth, how worried are you about the influence of social media on Bhutanese youth?
Most of our friends and young people like us, we do not know how to manage time and how to use information that is being portrayed on social medias, because we just cannot say that social medias are all the time useful, because we should know that what's good is also bad, because we can get so much of useful information, we can use it for good ways, but in that same way also we get access to so much of negative fields like pornography and all, because most of the youth of today's time, they get addicted towards this stuff and they cannot get rid of this, because once you get addicted, it's very hard for you to leave that side, sir.
So tell me, what do you think we should do to, avoid watching pornography on social media?
For that, there's no absolute answer, but we should, as a young Bhutanese student and young people, we should be educated, and we should know, because we are school going students and we should know about its pros and cons. So that's why we should be able to differentiate between good and bad and should keep track on what's good.
Alright, that was Deshan Namgil. Let me get back to Ugen. Your friend Deshan just mentioned about pornography. What's your view on this?
It's the worst thing that can happen to a Bhutanese student. Well, not exactly girls, but many boys in general. They're very attracted to such sites, and of course, I think it goes with the person, so they have to be able to maintain self-control and not be attracted to such sites as these, sir.
Alright, Deshan Namgil, how is social media helping you to get all the necessary information that you need?
Social media includes different fields like Google, WeChat, Facebook, and all. So while visiting these pages, you can gain access to so much information about the political and economical situations of the different countries of the world. We can know about what is happening in the other country. We just do not have to go there physically, but by just viewing and giving a glance at what's there in the Facebook pages and all, we can get information about the world leaders, the movie stars and all, so that we can update about these information.
Also, when you guys are on Facebook, What are some of the topics that you really discuss or talk about? Okay, what about Tenzin?
Things we discuss about with my friends. Okay, as I mentioned earlier, being a girl, we like to gossip a lot. And if you see a group of girls walking together, it would be a lie to say that they're not gossiping. And yeah, so we gossip and we gossip about everything and anything possible, starting from our own friends to celebrities who don't even know we exist. So yeah.
All right, gossiping. All right, gossiping. What about you, Tetsowandi? Your friends, mentioned about gossiping on Facebook. What about you?
Basically, yes, it is gossiping, and then it's sometimes schoolwork we talk about, and then some relatives just talk about family and life, and just to connect to them.
So how about discussing political issues and social issues? Any one of you? Yep, that really matter to you? Do you? Okay, what about? All right, Deshin Namgil, what about you?
Yes, so being a Bhutanese citizen, it's very important for us to be updated about the political situations, the laws and the policies they are framing in the parliament, because we are the future leaders and we should know about what's happening in our own country. So in Facebook we see so many pages, and the Prime Minister himself, he's accountable for one Facebook page whereby he posts different sort of information regarding our country, the laws they are framing in the parliament and the laws they are going to frame in the future. So by that we get to know about the different laws that are going to come in way, so we can share our views, like we can comment our views, because the most prominent issue that happened recently was that of Ada Raju, whereby the Home and Cultural Ministry was enforcing Bhutanese women to wear only one specific type of Raju, that was Ada Raju. But that issue wasn't discussed in the parliament, whereby it created so much of chaos and negative sort of thing in the community and the society, Bhutanese society, and most of the Bhutanese women did not find it so pleasing. Therefore, they took that Facebook page as a platform to share their views, to voice out their thoughts, and also that things could be reached out to the parliament. So therefore it served the purpose, and therefore the Home and Cultural Ministry put off yes, sir.
I think a well-informed guy. Anyway, so Ugen, what about you? Do you also use Facebook or other social networking sites to to know more about social issues or political issues?
Political issues, I'll just say I'm keeping light track of the US presidential elections, but not exactly many other things other than that, sir.
What about the girls? So do you also, use social media to know more about social issues and political issues? Okay, let me ask this to Tsetsuwandi.
Not really, but since I've become a media student these days, our teacher has to we have to keep up to date with the news that's happening in Bhutan. So these days I do really look into sites of Bhutan and what's happening in Bhutan, and usually the news is about politics.
All right, what about Tenzin Yangchen?
I am a media student, an art student, and I have to be informed about everything again, like Setso mentioned. But sorry, but I'm not so into politics, and but there used to be this page called Bhutanomics. Yeah, that page was fun. It was because everything was put in a very sarcastic and a really humorous manner, and that's how you get to know about the social and the political events happening in the country. But at the same time, it's put in a humorous way, so it's really fun to go there. But I'm not really into politics.
You know what? Some people believe that using social media by young people, it makes them creative. Do you believe in this? What do you say to this? All right, Tenzin.
Yes, I really think it makes you creative, because I don't know if it's in a healthy manner, but it makes you creative because if social media did not exist, we wouldn't really know about stuff's happening outside of Bhutan. There are the news channels, but the social media makes it more interesting and fun to access information. And if I cite a really small example, as simple as uploading a picture on Instagram or Facebook and other social medias, we girls like to edit the pictures, put it through filters and make it into a collage and have captions written over it. So it makes you creative in little ways, but which will hopefully be helpful in the future.
All right. What about Ugen? Do you think using Facebook, using social media will make you creative?
Well, yes and no, sir. Yes, because first of all, there's a lot of art and creativity already on the social media. So you experience all this new creativity that you yourself can get some ideas from, and it would in turn make you more creative. But also, it could also make you more dull as you concentrate more on social media and not actual life outside. Like my friend Tenzin said, girls, they like to post a lot of pictures on Facebook, and I think this leads to one problem of them becoming quite narcissistic and and very self-conscious of themselves, sir.
All right. What about Tetsawandi? Do you think it will make you creative?
Social media does make you more creative because there's like so many things that there is more information out there, so you know more, and then you're able to do more, and then your thoughts will be like, somehow it affects the thoughts also because they are exposed out there, and we have a small mind, and we like get to know more, and then we like the so like if it, for example, it could be like for decoration in class, and then like you could do something even more than the usual paper making, and like more like stuff to make origami and all that.
All right. What about Deshanamgil? What's your view on this?
I agree with what my friends said, because you get to know about so many things on social medias, and through that you can learn so many things and use it in a prominent way. But let me talk one thing here, that social media restricts us to exposure, sir, because we just know how to chat and conversate with our friends on Facebook, but when it comes into reality, when that friend which is on your Facebook comes in person to person, you just cannot talk to that person, and that makes you unsociable. You are so much sociable on that Facebook site, but in reality, when that friend comes near to you, you just can't express, you just can't talk to him, or you just can't share your views or opinions, or you just can't talk.
Is it the same with the rest of you, three of you? Yep. All of you?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
You know what, like I mentioned earlier, that with smartphones and 3G network, more young people, especially in urban areas, they have easy access to social media. So do you think there's a need to educate Bhutanese youth on pros and cons of social media? Let's start off with Tenzin Yangchen.
I wouldn't really say educate because they already know what's good and what's bad. It's just that they have to be reminded time and again by their parents and their teachers and their friends, and yeah. So they should be like reminded and not really educated because they know what's good and bad. They just have to be reminded of them.
All right. What about Deshanamgil? Do you think the government needs to educate young people on how to use social media?
Yes, sir. I do believe that government should take some sort of step to educate young people, and most of the young people living in the remote areas, because they are not much aware about the social media, but sometime in life they are surely going to use that thing. So the government should take initiative, and they should remind the young people time and again about how to use it for a better way, and which sides to neglect and which sides to assess. That would be of something good in life, sir.
All right. What about Tetsawandi?
I think that instead of educating, the government should actually know which sites to block, so then we will be like not like actually going to the sites, but we could like instead block them so that they'll be totally restricted from those sites which they are not supposed to go to. And
Do you think blocking a particular site will be a solution?
not a solution, but then it will basically bring it to some kind of like restriction that they won't be able to go to that site.
Anyway, let me get back to Deshanamgil. Which one do you choose? Blocking a site or educating the youth on how to use social media?
I don't think that blocking a site is the prominent solution, because blocking the site means you are restricting the citizens of the country for their freedom of choice. Being a democratic country, government just can show us the way, but we are the one who's going to use it and the answer. So I don't think that blocking the sites or doing this stuff would be a prominent answer. Rather, the government should try to educate and create awareness among the Bhutanese citizens, because in the end, what we need some sort of education, some sort of reminder time and again, so that we will be updated and we will know which things to follow and which things to avoid in life, sir.
Let me get one more view on this, subject. What about you, Tenzin Yangchen? Do you think blocking is a better idea, or creating awareness or educating young people on how to use social media?
I'd say blocking is more better because we educate people on lots of stuffs, but some people are like, they don't choose to learn from it, so they could always go back to their bad habits, which is their own loss actually. But if you really care for your own people and if the government really cares for us, they should block the sites.
All right, blocking the site. Okay, both the girls. All right, what about Ugen Kesang? What do you think about it?
Oh, well, I think blocking the sites wouldn't actually also work very well. It's like you're meeting an obstacle, you just be infuriated, but you try to get to the end result no matter what happens. So I don't think blocking the sites would work very well. In fact, raising awareness on what to do and what not to do. And then the key factor then would be the implementation by the youth, sir.
All right, thank you all of you. Well, this has been Generation Me, and today we discussed about social media and young people, especially about pros and cons of social media. And this is me, Tring Wangchuk, signing off for Generation Me. Thank you very much for listening, and all of you, thank you very much for being on Generation Me.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.